The lecture today. Due process rights in the United States. Due process is a cornerstone principle of American law, deeply embedded in the U.S. Constitution. At its core, due process ensures fairness in legal procedures and protects individual rights against arbitrary governmental actions. It manifests through procedural and substantive due process, each playing a critical role in safeguarding liberties in various contexts, from criminal proceedings to administrative decisions and civil rights protections. Historical context. The concept of due process originated in English common law, notably appearing in the Magna Carta of 1215. The Magna Carta established the fundamental principle that no one, not even the king, could arbitrarily deprive individuals of liberty or property without lawful judgment. This concept traveled to America with British settlers and heavily influenced the U.S. Constitution and Bill of Rights. Constitutional foundations. Due process in the U.S. Constitution is explicitly articulated in two amendments. Fifth Amendment, applicable at the federal level, stating, "No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law." 14th Amendment, applicable at the state level, declaring, "Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law." These amendments established the legal necessity of fair treatment and adequate procedural mechanisms before any deprivation occurs. Procedural due process. Procedural due process focuses on the fairness and transparency of legal procedures. It includes several essential rights and requirements. Notice, individuals must be clearly informed of accusations or reasons for governmental action. Opportunity to be heard. Individuals must be provided a chance to respond or contest charges or actions. Impartial tribunal. Hearings and judgments must be conducted by unbiased decision makers. Right to counsel. Particularly in criminal cases, individuals have the right to legal representation. Fair trial standards, including rights to confront accusers, present evidence, and have public trials. Landmark cases establishing procedural due process include Gideon v. Wainwright, 1963, ensured the right to counsel for criminal defendants unable to afford an attorney. Miranda v. Arizona, 1966, established that suspects must be informed of their rights upon arrest. The Miranda rights. Substantive due process. Substantive due process prevents governmental infringement upon fundamental rights, even if fair procedural mechanisms are followed. The Supreme Court has interpreted this to include certain liberties not explicitly stated in the Constitution, such as privacy and family autonomy. Significant substantive due process cases include Lochner v. New York, 1905, initially controversial for protecting economic liberties, later repudiated. Roe v. Wade, 1973, recognized privacy rights concerning abortion decisions. Obergefell v. Hodges, 2015, affirmed marriage equality as a fundamental right protected by due process. Modern applications of due process. In contemporary America, due process rights are extensively applied across multiple legal areas. Criminal justice system, ensuring fair police practices, lawful interrogations, transparent trials, and humane treatment in incarceration. Immigration law, due process governs deportation proceedings, requiring transparent hearings and rights to legal counsel. Educational institutions. Due process applies to disciplinary actions, notably clarified by cases like Goss v. Lopez, 1975, ensuring students' rights to hearings before suspension. Employment and administrative decisions. Due process requires fair hearings for public employees before termination or adverse employment actions, exemplified in Cleveland Board of Education v. Loudermill, 1985. Challenges and ongoing debates. Several modern challenges have sparked significant debates about due process. Counter-terrorism measures. The USA Patriot Act and similar laws have raised questions about due process rights in surveillance, detention, and trial procedures. Technological surveillance, digital privacy issues such as warrantless surveillance and data collection continue to test the boundaries of due process protections. Police and criminal justice reform, movements demanding transparency, accountability, and procedural fairness, especially regarding use of force incidents and racial disparities in the justice system. Administrative law. The increasing power of administrative agencies has led to debate about adequate due process protections in regulatory proceedings. Supreme Court and judicial interpretation. The Supreme Court remains the primary arbiter of due process interpretation, significantly shaping its application. Originalism versus living constitution. Originalists advocate interpreting due process narrowly based on historical context, while proponents of the living constitution support adapting interpretations to contemporary societal needs. Balancing tests. Courts frequently apply balancing tests, weighing individual rights against governmental interests to determine due process sufficiency. Conclusion. Due process rights are central to the integrity of American democracy and governance. Through procedural and substantive frameworks, due process provides comprehensive protections ensuring fairness, transparency, and respect for fundamental liberties. As society evolves, continuous judicial interpretation and public debate will further define and refine these essential rights.